Hello again. I'm really glad you enjoyed my flapjack video. When I was little, my favourite treat was going to the baker's and buying a gingerbread man. And that's what I'm going to show you today. I'm going to show you how to make some gingerbread men, or gingerbread ladies, or gingerbread non-gender specific, whatever you'd like to make. But I'll show you how to do it. Stick with me, I'll show you what you need. Okay, let me show you some of the equipment that you might need. A wooden spoon, a knife, a set of scales, there's a tub just there to help me keep everything contained when I'm measuring, a mixing bowl, a gingerbread man shape. If you haven't got one of those, then you can make some gingerbread cookies. Just use a cup to cut out the shapes out of, a sieve because we're going to have to sieve the flour, and a rolling pin to roll out the dough to make it nice and flat so we're able to cut out our shapes. Also a baking tray with some greaseproof paper on so that the gingerbread cookies or gingerbread men don't stick to the bottom of the tray, which wouldn't be good. The recipe needs, and for our ingredients, we need 350 grams of plain flour. We'll need 1 teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. However, I'm going to use some baking powder because I haven't got bicarb. It'll do the same job. 2 teaspoons of ground ginger. 115 grams of butter. Again, I'm going to use some stork for that. 175 grams of brown sugar. 4 tablespoons of syrup, and for this recipe I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of some golden syrup and 2 tablespoons of black treacle. It just gives it that extra darker colour and depth of flavour. I really like it like that. And 1 egg. The oven needs to preheat. Remember, it is hot, so you need an adult, so you need adult supervision to help you do this bit. So I'm going to turn the oven on. I need it, if you've got a gas oven, it needs to be on gas mark 5, or if it's an electric oven, or you've got a dial how it is in degrees Celsius, it needs to be 190 degrees. So once check that's lit, we're all ready to let that preheat, and then our gingerbread will be able to cook nicely when we put it in there. I'm going to get ready to let the magic happen now. I'm going to put on my apron again. Just tie it around the front again, because remember, I'm not very good at tying it around the back. And we need to wash our hands. Remember, 20 seconds, rinse them under the water. Good glove of soap. Give a good rinse, get that lather up. Good scrub in between the fingers and around. 20 seconds, singing happy birthday or whatever song you want to sing. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear, whoever you are, happy birthday to you. That should be about right now. Just going to dry them using a piece of kitchen roll. Okay, over to the mixing bowl. So the first thing I'm going to do is measure out my flour, which on the recipe it says 350 grams. Ooh, I better turn the scales on. There we are. You see it says 0 grams. Watch it as it goes up now. 350. That's getting there. Ooh, very nearly. Just a little bit more. Be careful now, Mr. Allen, don't go over. Oh, 1 gram over. I think you'll forgive me for that. Okay, now the next thing I need to do really is sift the flour. Put it through the sieve, and that gets out any lumps, and it also puts air into the flour and makes it nice and light so that when you make your biscuits and your gingerbread dough, it will be nice and light. Okay, I'm just going to give it a bang against my hand here, if you can see, and it starts to go through. This may take a couple of minutes, so I will just so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just banging my sieve against my hand and letting all that flour fall through, and the lumps are breaking up, so it's all nice and light. Won't take too long now. It's almost there. And there we go. Brilliant. Right, that'll do. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put in my 2 teaspoons of ginger. Now I've got a set of spoons here, so I'm just going to use a teaspoon one, but you've got teaspoons at home. It's what you use to stir your tea with. So 1, I'm going to be fairly generous with the ginger because it is gingerbread. I do want it to taste of ginger. 2, there we go. That's our ginger in. And then I'm going to use a teaspoon. I've got no muscles. Oh goodness me, that was a bit difficult this morning. A teaspoon of bicarb or baking powder, as this one is, and that's just going to help the dough rise slightly. I don't want to make a cake, so I don't want it to rise too much, but I do want it to be a little bit spongy because I want my gingerbread to be soft. I don't want it crunchy and hard. Some people like the gingerbread crunchy and hard, but I like mine to be a little bit softer. So the next thing is the butter. Just going to take that off, get rid of that. And it's 115 grams that we need of this, so I'm just going to scoop it out. Oh, that's far too much, that's 142, we don't want that much, do we? 110, just a little bit more. I'm going to use my fingers, which is okay because I have washed them. 115, bang on, that's brilliant. There we go, wonderful. Now that's going to go into the mix, but what I am going to do, I am just going to go and chop it into chunks as I put it in. And I'll just move this over here, I can show you what I'm doing. It's just chopping it into chunks as it goes in the bowl. That'll make it easier to mix it in with my fingers shortly. I'll show you how to do that in a couple of minutes or seconds from your point of view. Right, so it was 175 grams of sugar. So let's have a see how that goes. Oh, I think we might need all this. That's 165, which isn't too bad. I can supplement it with some other sugar. I'm not quite sure, so let's put a teaspoon in. Ooh, there we go. I think that'll do. That's about right. 175 grams, not too bad. There we go. I'll just put that over there. I'll bring the bowl back over here. I'm just going to add that into there now. Okay, right, now's the fun bit. We get to mix all this together. So I'm just going to mix all that butter with the knife into the flour mixture. Just kind of chop it up a little bit. Okay, and this is the fun bit now. I'm going to get my hands in and I'm actually going to rub the flour and butter together. Break up any lumps of butter as it comes along. Just try and get it all mixed together. It will take a little while, this, what you want to try and get, it'll look like golden, almost like breadcrumbs once it's finished. You don't want to overdo it and squash it all together, just nice and lightly rub it together. It's almost getting there now, but I will, you have a look now, you can see that it's almost like golden breadcrumbs. And the consistency is quite nice. Okay, now's the time to add some of the other ingredients. I'm just going to wash my hands and I'll be back. So for the next ingredients, I'm going to use my egg and a cup. Remember, I can use this as a cutter, but for this I'm going to use it to mix this magical portion next. So I'm going to break my egg. Try not to get any of the shell inside. There we are, wonderful, I didn't. Put that down there for a second. Watch it roll onto the floor, hopefully not. Then I'm going to go in with my teaspoon of black treacle. Very sticky stuff, this. This is the stuff that's used to make treacle toffee that you might have at bonfire night. It's very nice. Probably not like that, but once it's been made into treacle toffee, it's very nice. So I'm actually going to just use one of those, and then I'm going to put in about 2 of these golden syrup spoonfuls. Ooh, almost running out of that. Yeah, stick it over there. Actually, I think I will just put one more of the treacle in. I should really stick to the recipe. I'm not going to put all a tablespoon in, but just another one, and hopefully that will make for some really nice gingerbread. Right, so put that down there. Just going to get a fork out, and then I'm going to mix the egg and the treacle together to make the magic portion that's going to make this gingerbread taste really nice. Now, if you are allergic to eggs, then you can leave out the egg, but your gingerbread might just be a little bit harder than what mine will be. Or you can actually mix, instead of using egg, you can use milk, and just use 2 teaspoons of milk instead of the egg. Okay, right, that's almost mixed. I just want to make sure that it's all whisked together the best it can be, and then in that goes. Right, let's get rid of that cup. Right, I'm just going to fold it into the mixture, and what should start to happen is once it's mixed in with the flour, the sugar, the ginger, and all that's mixed together, you should start to get a bit of a dough. Now I might need to use my hands in a minute or two to get in there, which I think I will now do now, and start to bring all that together. Just going to try and squash it together a little bit. It will get a little bit sticky because you've used all that syrup. Okay, I'll carry on doing that. There we are. We look now, you can see that I've got a nice ball of gingerbread dough. what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to actually get it onto the worktop. Just going to flour the worktop just a little bit. I don't want to have too much flour on there, just so it doesn't stick to the worktop. Just put some of it over there, I'll use that later. Flour my hands a little bit, then it doesn't stick to my hands. And all I'm going to do is knead it together a little bit more, just so everything is mixed really nicely. Now you can put that in the fridge to chill for about an hour, but I'm not going to do that because I'm impatient and I've got other things to be doing today. So I am actually just going to roll it out as it is. So I'll put the flour in my rolling pin and start rolling it out. Just going to try and make a bit of a circle. Now it may break, it may not, so I shall do my best. I think I will have to just see how this goes now. I'm going to try and get it out so it's about 1 centimetre thick. Put a bit of flour on top. There we go. And then I'm going to start to cut out my gingerbread shapes. There we are, trying to use up all the space. But I can always reform the ball and start again. This is where a knife might come in handy to transfer to the baking tray. Just going to try and gather up all the bits, the cut off bits, and I can use them to make some more gingerbread men in a little while. I can just grab these bits. I can, don't drop any in the floor, it's a bit wasteful. All that lovely gingerbread. Here we go. And then I've got some gingerbread men. Now I did forget to mention the palette knife, which is easy just to scrape underneath the gingerbread men, and then you're able to transport them to your baking tray. Not sure why they're on there. There we go. It doesn't matter if they're a little bit out of shape, they're all individuals, just like we are. Oh, he's lost an arm. He's armless. Can always fix that back on there like that. Here we go. And maybe one more on that baking tray, and then I can make another baking tray ready to go. Ooh, that's stuck to there. He needs a bit of a movement. I might just stick him down a bit further like that. There we go. The gingerbread men, when I was little, never used to have icing on. It was always currants or raisins. So I used to put in 2 currants for eyes and a couple of currants for some buttons going down, oops, like that. So 2 currants for eyes and about 3 buttons going down the centre for buttons. Now you can use icing if you like, lots of different coloured icing you can use. You can decorate them how you like, but for me, I'm old-fashioned. And to take me back to my childhood, it's good to go there every now and again, is just to put in the currants for the buttons and the eyes. There we go. Don't they look effective? Okay, remember this is where you might need a bit of adult help. Our gingerbread men or gingerbread ladies or gingerbread non-gender specific people are going to go into the oven for around about 12 minutes. Now you do have to keep an eye on them. If they start to look a bit darker on the outsides, then they're most probably done. So around about 12 minutes, 190 degrees or gas mark 5. Get an adult to help you do this bit because it is hot. Woo! Nearly sings my eyebrows off. Put them in there and see you in 12 minutes. That noise means my gingerbread people are ready. Men, non-gender specific people. Again, I've got my oven gloves to take them out of the oven because they will be hot, hot, hot. I'm just going to stop that infernal noise. Let's have a look at these beauties. Just turn the oven off. Whoa, 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 would you look at those? They look great. Yeah, the tray's a bit hot, so I'm just going to put it over here on this worktop to cool down. Now the gingerbread men have cooled slightly, I can just carefully pick them off the tray and put them onto our cooling rack, just so that the air gets to the bottom and it doesn't get any condensation, which will stop the gingerbread from setting and going hard, and you'll get a bit of a soggy bottom, as Mary Berry would say. So I'll leave them there for about half an hour or so they set really nicely, and then who knows, I might even eat one. Well, I've had about half an hour now to cool down and they're ready, and I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. I've already had a nibble at this one. Run as fast as you can't catch me on the gingerbread man. Well, news for you, I can and I have. I'm really sorry, but they do taste delicious. Wonderful. Nice and soft on the inside, nice and crisp on the outside. They are absolutely delicious. I hope you enjoy making these gingerbread men, because they are delicious, but even more so, I hope you enjoy eating them. There's a leg. See you in the next video. Bye.